Hey everyone. So today our topic is using WebSockets in our Flutter application. So the idea is that I'll create a basic chat application. It will store the message and the name of the sender, and then it will show the message on the in the app. So first of all, I will create a server and it will be a simple server. So we will use the fast API. I've created the server folder. It's not really a good practice to combine the app code and the server code, but for the sake of this video, I'm using this just like that. So I create main.py. So this is the start of the Python file, and generally it's a good practice to create a virtual environment over here. I'm not using it for now, so I'll just simply use from fast API, and I need to import fast API. Will be fast API, and I also need to include WebSocket socket. Okay, and the next thing is from fast API dot middleware dot course import course middleware. So the course middleware is basically used to set the origin, the methods, and the headers. So it will allow it to basically call the API from anywhere. So I explain it further. API. So let's initialize that app dot add middleware. So now adding the middleware using the course middleware just that I just imported, and then allow origins is equals to star. So this means that requests from any origin will be entertained, and it won't be like restricted to a specific origin. Allow methods will be star. Okay, let me just missed the equals to, and the same thing I just copy it and paste it. I want to do it for headers, so allow headers, and this is done. Okay, so the course is set up. Now I want to create the API, so let me just do it app dot WebSocket, and the path, and then will be an async function def WebSocket endpoint, and variable parameter will be WebSocket, and WebSocket, and then what we want to use is wait WebSocket dot accept. So then we can use try, and while it's true, it means that it will run infinitely. The true will be capital, and while true, data is equals to await WebSocket dot receive text. Receive underscore text. Okay, So what I want to do is that I want to add messages, and I want to store the messages locally. So what can I do over here is that I can create a list of clients, suppose, and initialize it as empty. And then what I can do is I can do for client in clients, in the clients list, await and client dot send underscore text and the data that is provided, and then except I want to do is clients dot remove WebSocket. Okay, so our API is ready, and if I open this in terminal, or if I just click it over here and open in integrated terminal, and I have to use Ubicon, and I will use the Ubicon command to run the app. So to do that, what I can do is Ubicon, and then main app dash dash reload, and then I wanted to run it locally, so on 0.0.0, and then I'll access it from my Flutter app. So to do that, I've done this, and then let's specify the port. So the port will be 8000, right? So if I run it, okay, so my Rubicon main app reload, and no such option. Okay, so the spellings are wrong. Reload. Okay, so the issue is cannot import FastAPI from FastAPI. Okay, so in here I've used FastAPI, and then import FastAPI WebSocket, and then FastAPI. Okay, so the issue over here is that there should be API and application startup complete. The server is running. We can also access it, but for now, I'll just leave it and move to my Flutter app. So I'll leave it running, and I'll move to my app. Oh, so the idea over here will be username dot, or let's say username screen dot, and then there will be a chat screen, chat underscore screen dot. Okay, so I'll remove the boilerplate code. Okay, and I'll create a username screen. So okay, so I'll just call it over here and remove the title and all, and then I'll import it. Sorry. Okay, so the username screen is created. I'll run the app on the emulator, and before I run the app, there is one more thing that I'll need to do, and that is I want to use the WebSocket channel. So I'll just add it in my dependencies WebSocket channel. And after it's added, I'll rerun my app. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do over here is that we will create a username screen. So in the username screen, currently there's a simple placeholder. I want to use scaffold over here, and in the scaffold, the app bar, and the app bar will have a title. The title will be text, and enter the username. Okay, and if I press save, the enter username is showing up. Okay, so the next thing I want to do over here is that I want to use the body, and in the body I'll use a column, and the column will have children will be text field, and this text field will be used for entering the username. So the decoration and input decoration, and just give it label text. The text is your name. Okay, and then we need to have a controller for the username. So text editing controller, username controller. So text editing controller. Okay, so username controller, and give the controller over here to the text field. Okay, and on submitted, we want to call a function. So the function will be proceed to chat. We can call this proceed to chat. Okay, so it will take a string value, and the value will be value, or I can use the controller from it. I can use a value from the controller. So in here, I'll get the name. So final name is equals to username controller dot text, and then if I'll just check that if the name is not empty, in that case I need to move forward. So I'll use navigator dot of context dot push, and then material page route, and then I can use context, and then I'll move to the next screen. So here I'll create a next screen, stful, it will be a chat screen, and just copy the name, paste it in here. Okay, so the chat screen, for the chat screen, I want to give the username that I've just added from the previous screen. So string username, and this dot username, and the username will be final, and this will be required. Okay, so in here I provide the username and the name. Okay, and I need to call this function, so I simply use this, and then I can call this function. Okay, so the function will be called on the on submitted. So suppose I type some name, let's suppose Sam, and then I press on the check, it will move it to the next screen. And okay, so the next screen I want to do is in the chat screen, I'll create a scaffold, and the scaffold will be used to show the messages will be top, and then in the app bar I use app bar, and the title title will be text, and the text will be chat as, and then the name that is coming in, the username variable on top, so it will be widget dot user. Okay, and then what I want to do is in the body I'll use a column children, and then in here I want to give a list view, so that will be used to show the messages. So let's use expanded, and then in the list view it will be a list view dot builder, and then I will give it context, then index, and the item count will be the list that will be coming from the socket. So let's just make it so the messages will be coming up from the socket. So for that we need to initiate the socket. So in its sorry, in the init state I'll make the call to the socket, so late web socket channel, and this is the package that I added previously. Then I want to have a list of messages, list map, and then it will be string and string, so it will have name and the messages is equals to this, and then I can also have a controller, and this will be a text editing controller for the messages, so the user can add those messages. Okay, so initiating the channel WebSocket, so we will use WebSocket channel dot connect, and in the connect I have to provide a URL, so URI dot parse, URI dot parse, and then the path will be ws, opening my ws, and then what I want to do is that as it's running locally, for the emulators we want to use 10.2 point 10.0.2 10.0.2.2. Okay, so then I need to provide the port, so the port was 8000, and I ran it on 8000 port, and then I need to give it the path. So this is done, and let me check messages. So in here I have to provide the messages length in here, so I'll give it messages dot length. Okay, so I'll just restart the app. So in here let me give some padding so it looks a bit good. Sam, and then on pressing okay, if message dot is not empty, I provided the username. Okay, I want to call it as a function, so I missed it. Okay, so in here if I press Sam, then press enter, then chat as Sam is working, and in here you see that we are not seeing any error. It means that it's connecting to our um, the server, so you can see the connection was accepted, so connection is now open. Okay, so then we want to listen to the changes in that particular connection. So for that I will add a comment, listening to changes in the connection. Okay, so for that I'll use channel dot stream, and then stream dot listen. Okay, so this will return any data that is being changed from on the server side. Okay, so final parts is equals to data dot split. I'll tell you why I'm using data dot split in a moment. So data dot split, so it will split it into two parts. Then what I want is parts dot length. So just making sure that it's greater than or equal to 2. It means that the messages the message is a correct message. So final sender is equal to parts 0 dot trim, and as it is a string, so it won't give us any issue. Final message is equal to parts dot sublist 1 dot join, and then dot trim. You will understand this as soon as you get as soon as I run it. So messages dot add, and then I'm adding sender. The key is sender for the sender, and then the key is message, and it will be message. Okay, so I'm listening to the changes, and then I'm adding those changes into the messages list. But the next thing I want to do is actually send the message. So to send the message, I'll write a function. So it will be send message. Okay, and to send the message, I'll first get the message from the text controller. So it will be message is equals to controller dot text. Then same thing, checking that if the message is not empty, then moving forward. So final full message is equals to adding the widget, sorry, the username. So the top username that is showing, that is Sam. So the username that we are getting from the previous screen, we will add that. So it will become like this, widget dot username, and then I'll add this, and then the text message, the actual text message that the user has sent. So it will be message. Okay, so then I'll add this to the socket. So it will be channel.sync.add, and then it will be full message. Then the next thing is clearing the actual text field. Text dot, we need to use this. Okay, so actually to send the message, we have to have any text field in the bottom, so we can use that, and using that we can send the messages. But before that, let's not forget to actually, in the dispose, we have to close the channel, sorry, the socket. So channel dot sync dot close, and it will be status dot normal closure, or I can use the status dot status from the actual channel. So the WebSocket channel, so I'll import that, and here I want to use the status dot and call it as status, so I can directly refer to it. And in here I can then use status dot normal closure. So this status is used to define that the closure of the sync is normal, and like it's based on the user, not on something of an issue. So controller dot dispose, And okay, so this is done. Now I just simply want to use a text field, so it will be a text field, and the text field will have the hint, or sorry, the controller. First assign the controller, so controller and controller, and it will be controller. And then the next thing is a bit of decoration for the text field, so let's just add it. Input decoration, hint in text will be enter message. And the next thing is to use a bit of decoration for the fields outline input border. And let's just give border radius circular and make it 50. And next, on submitted, I want to call the send message function that I created above. Okay, so type is void, and okay, I can't directly use it, so what I need to do is, so the issue is resolved. And now to actually send the message, we can use this send message, or I can just give a button. So in here, let's just first send the message by the on submit. So I've just written this gibberish text and press this. Let's see what's happening. Okay, so I haven't seen any input, and in the terminal, I suppose that everything is working, the clients are getting added. The connection is close. Okay, okay, let's just give another try. Okay, let's just check that if actually the message is being added or not. So here, let me print message will be full message. Okay, okay, so the message is being added to the socket, and for some reason it's not showing up in the list. So the thing over here is that I've not actually added it in the list view.builder. So let me just print it. Okay, so let me just print it, and message from socket, and let's just show it. I'll just use this message over here. And now if I just say hey, send it, and I should see that in this page to the channel. Let's just restart the app. Let's see what happens. Okay, so there is some mistake because I don't see any. So wait a second. So the connection is open and main.py. For every client, I'm sending the text soon as I get any text. So let me just print data, and in here I will send a message again. Okay, but I'm not seeing any result. So who sent the message? Hey. Okay, so the issue actually is in our server file. So what I did was await clients.send text. So it should be client. So it should be for each client, I should be receiving text. So if I do it now, hey, I should be receiving, is it, wait a second. Let me rerun my server. It's started, and I have to go back, and then the connection is open. The connection, the message is coming up. So then now it's printing the data, and let me just confirm it in the socket connection. Okay, so I still don't see the message from socket, and could be that in the main.py file clients dot send underscore text, and I'm sending the data. And one more thing over here is that I have missed clients dot end the WebSocket. Let me refresh it, come back, join again. Okay, so cannot access local variable, and should be clients. Okay, coming back, join again. Okay, so the connection is open and the connection is successful. Hey, the message is being printed here, and okay, so now we are receiving the messages from the socket as well. So this is this line that is printing. So in the listen, message from socket, and the message is being printed. So we are clear that our messages are coming up. So now I just need to show these messages on the screen. So to do that, I'll create a function widget, and it will be wait message, and it will be string sender string message. Okay, and this will return an line. Basically, if the message is my message, it should be on the right, and if it's the other person's message, it should be on the left. So I can simply use a check, or I can use find is me, and then the sender is equals to dot sorry widget dot username, and if it's equal to the my name, then it's my message, and if it's not, then it's another person's message. So based on that, I'll set the alignment, and alignment will be center right if it's me, and center alignment dot center left if it's another person, right? And then I'll use a child, and the child will be a container. The container will have a child, will be a column, then children, and then I'll show that if is me, is false, it means that it's the other person. In that case, what I want to do is I want to show a text above, and it will show the sender name, and let's just style it a bit. Text style, font size will be 12, and font weight will be font weight dot bold, and then I use colors dot blue green. So we can do the styling afterwards, it's not really a big deal. And another thing is the message, the actual message. So the actual message, and thing, doing a bit of styling. So text style, and it will be, let's say, font size 16. Okay, and then what I need to do is I'll okay. So the problem over here is too many position arguments. Okay, so I actually need to use the alignment parameter and then give the text. Okay, I can simply call this in the list view dot builder, and here return build message, and our message. So message is equals to the messages list, and the current index, and then message is equals to message, it will be sender, and the same thing I want to do for the actual message, so it will be message. This is the same thing that I've did above. Okay, and the type string can be assigned. Okay, so the message of hey is showing over here. Let's just do a bit of styling for the message as well, so it looks a bit good. So coming to the build message function, and in the container, I'll give margin. So h sets dot symmetric, horizontal will be 10, and vertical, let's say 5 or 6. Vertical, and also I need to give some padding as well. So edge insert start all, let's just give it 10 from all sides, and decoration, so it will be a box decoration, and color, so let's the color will be set based on the person. So if it's me, the color will be colors will be dot blue, and let's just keep the shade 300 for now. And if it's the other person, I'll just give it colors dot gray, and let's say 300 as well. And now you can see that my message color is changed, so it's not looking good right now. So let's just change the border radius as well. So border radius dot circular, and let's say 15. Yeah, it looks good. And also I can change the color a bit so it looks a bit good. 200. Yeah, it looks much better now. And we can also use shadows and all, but it's up to you. So now the problem over here is that it's only my message. What if I want to create another a chat with another person? So to simulate that, I'm using another emulator. I'll run the app on that. So the app is up and running. Let's just say user 2 and move to the next screen. And currently I don't see any message, but soon as I say hi, you can see user 2 sent a message hi. And if I send hey, how are you? So the message will instantly show up on the next side screen. So you can do the designing, it's up to you, but it's a simple explanation of how the chat is working. Wait, what about you? So it's working. I send a message, I'm good, what about you? And the message is showing up here, and the name is who, and the username is showing up correctly. So that's all for now. I'll upload the code to GitHub as well, so you can check it from here. Thank you.